Welcome into the 2021 IHSA Class 2A State Football Championship between Wilmington and Nashville. We apologize for getting a little bit of a late start here. The previous 1A game went on for what seemed like 2 lifetimes. That game didn't get over until about 12:45 or 12:50, and it started at 10 a.m. this morning. And so we had to wait for another station to clear out for us to get in. So it's left us with not a whole lot of time to get things put together for our pregame show today. However, we welcome you into Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. We're going to have to get right to things today. We only have 7 minutes away from opening kick. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to our interview with the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raintz. Then we'll talk a little bit about this matchup today between Wilmington and Nashville, and we'll get right to it right here from Brigham Field at NIU as Wilmington and Nashville get set to go at it for the 2A state championship, and we'll get to more in just a moment. This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. All right, welcome back here over to Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, and again joined by the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raintz. And Coach, wow, I mean, there's been a few times in your career where you can say that you're playing this late in a season, but this go-round, how does it feel to be heading back to state for third time?
Yeah, for 3 times. I mean, it's great. The kids have done a great job. They played well all year. I think they're playing their best football right now. Obviously we got a great test in Nashville coming up in the state finals, but no, we're clicking on all cylinders right now. What a game against Tri-Valley. We knew going in they were 12-0, we were 12-0, and for us to come out with a win like we did, I was really happy with that. So Nashville though comes in ready to go. You're playing another great team in the state finals, and we got one more challenge ahead of us, and let's see how we do.
That Tri-Valley game you start off with, again, home 3 out of those 4 weeks, which was a big boost as well, and had a nice crowd there. But again, coming out quick, right? You had that bizarre kickoff scenario at the beginning of the game,
right.
And then all of a sudden the safety, and then things started rolling. But that seems to be the key lately, is getting a quick start.
It really is. I think then when you get into those big games, I think you don't want to get behind the 8 ball early. That would be something that would be big against Nashville. We don't want to. We want to start off good. But going back to the Tri-Valley game, like you said, we pinned them deep. We go 3 and out. They got a punt from their end zone. Their center snaps it over their head. We got a safety. Mm-hmm. Now they got a kick to us. We get the ball back in great field position, and we were able to win that field position war in the first quarter there. And I thought that was huge for us. Yeah. And then as the game went on, I thought, like I said, at Catbackers, Coach Southall, Coach Farrell, and those guys did a great job making adjustments. Because at first I thought they did a good job of stopping us. Tri-Valley did. And we were able to change up a few things and keep it going.
And the other side of that is defensively keeping them in longer down and distance and being able to get off the field quick, especially with an offense that has as much firepower as they had, and then being able to hang on to the ball the whole second half, essentially.
It really was. I thought the third quarter was huge in the fact that we came out and possessed the ball majority of the third quarter and kept their offense off the field. And that's what we have to do. We have to try to keep the other team's offenses off. We're playing some really good kids and really good players, and right now, offensively we're able to do that. But like you said, against Tri-Valley, that I think that third quarter was definitely went in our favor. Of all things, we didn't have the big play in that third quarter drive, where the other ones we did, and that kind of ate up the clock a little bit more.
Well, now you get a Nashville team. We talked about going back to 2A, and you've Sterling Newman, you've seen before, but a lot of teams that have not been seen, at least by Wilmington fans, and another one here, and a Nashville team that we've seen a little bit of everything this year. Back to that, 5 wide receiver spread deal and running a ton of plays in a game.
Yeah, they really are. I think in talking with other coaches and doing a little scouting report, you see that they do a great job with their spread. They got a lot of tall kids at their receiver spots. They got, they got good athletic ability up front. They got a nice running back. Their quarterback's 6'6", and can get rid of the ball in a hurry. So we got a great challenge in front of us. I would relate them to Custer. Probably it would be a team that I would relate it to. Athletic in a lot of spots, can run the ball and pass the ball both. So we're going to have to play, obviously, a complete game.
You know, you guys offensively all year have hung on to the ball and kind of used every second off that play clock. Seems like this go around that could be very advantageous.
No, I think so too. I think it's crucial that we keep their athletes off the field. And if they're continuously on the field, then we'll have some problems eventually. You just give the ball to a good team that much. Same with them.
Yep.
They're saying the same thing about us. We got to keep the ball from them being on the field and suffocating that clock and not letting us. So we'll have the same philosophy on that. They'll try to get as many plays as possible. We'll try to hold on to the ball as long as possible.
All right, Coach. And lastly, once again, how do you look injury-wise?
You know what? We did have Nick Sanford did break his thumb, but he's going to be able to play in the game. You got to cast it up, and he'll have that thing padded, ready to go. And but beyond that, we're doing good. So we're going into week 14 with obviously we still think about Humphreys, who we lost earlier this year, but overall we're doing really good.
All right, Coach, go get a state championship.
That's right, Johnny. Let's go get one.
Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Back here, Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. We only have a minute or two away from opening kick here this afternoon between Wilmington and Nashville, as we're live here at NIU, set for the 2A state championship. Wilmington, of course, making a clean sweep of everything so far this year, come in at undefeated. They ran through the playoffs, beating Julian out of Chicago 55-0. Sterling Newman was a 42-7 win. In the quarterfinals, they beat Bishop McNamara 45-25. And then, of course, last week, the win over Tri-Valley 42-14. And they are undefeated coming into the state championship out of the Illinois Central 8. And, of course, coached by Jeff Raines. For Nashville, they made a clean sweep of the playoffs as well. Only one loss on the year to Freeburg. That was 26-21 way back in week 2. In the playoffs, they defeated Mendon Unity 48-20 in the first week of the playoffs. Round 2, they defeated Bismarck Henning 33-26. In the quarterfinals, they defeated Pana 43-19. And then, of course, the big upset last week over Decatur St. Teresa 37-35 in a game that saw them convert 2 onside kicks in the fourth quarter and then get a field goal late to win that game. Of course, Nashville out of the Southern Illinois River to River Conference and coached by Steven Kazuzek. So we'll get set for what will be a battle of kind of two different offenses here today. Nashville will come out in a spread offense. They'll run the ball. They'll pass the ball. It'll kind of be all over the place. They're used to putting up a ton of yards. By the way, 5,400 yards of offense for this year as opposed to Wilmington's 3,900. But the Cats, of course, have much more of a ball control offense out of that double wing, and we'll see how that holds up here today. By the way, Wilmington will be in the purple jerseys with white helmets and white pants today. Nashville will be in all white, as the Cats will be right in front of us, their home bench. Wilmington has brought, looks like the entire town with them today.
Looks like it.
There's just about everyone here. I don't know who's left back in Wilmington, but it can't be very many people. They're all here.
But yes, the Southall's down in Florida.
No, Cancun. And
Cancun.
The best part about that is you go on a trip to Cancun, you can kick back on the beach, you can relax, and you can listen to Wilmington Wildcats football. They were there last week too, weren't they? Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it must be nice to be there while it's, 30-something degrees here in Wonderville, Illinois. So we're just about ready to get to opening kick here today. Again, we apologize for kind of the shortened pregame show, but it's just kind of the nature of the beast. You live with those things when you get to the state championship, and you got to try to cram everything together. So the Cats will get set for what is their third trip to the state championship. Of course, the Cats came up short in their first trip down at U of I in a driving snowstorm, and then won the state championship their last go-round in 2014 on a last-second field goal. That was also in Champaign at U of I. And now their third trip to state will see the Cats up at NIU here at Brigham Field as we get set for football today. Of course, Nashville, no stranger to this either. They were here the last time there was a state championship a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
Runners up to Sterling Newman. So the Cats are going to kick off here, kicking off right to left, as Alan Richards will get set to get this game underway.
Seems rather normal that the Cats kick off to start the game. Even if they win the toss, they usually like to defer.
Well, I will tell you, this is an interesting spot to broadcast from.
Yes, it is.
I mean, we're kind of in our own. Matter of fact, I need to take a couple of pictures and throw them up on Facebook so everybody can kind of appreciate where. I mean, it's cool. It's just very different. So Richards with the approach, a very short kick. This is going to come down at the 10 and kicks to the 9, across the 20, 25, out across the 30, into the 34-yard line goes the return. That's Isaac Turner for Nashville. And the Hornets will start 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line.
Cutter with a great tackle then. He just hit him head on.
So Nashville will set up 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Just underway here in quarter number 1 as they move left to right. Handoff goes up the middle, and that gets stacked up after a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards. On the carry was Connor Glatson, the 5'11 senior running back, and of course the main back for Nashville. Out of this spread attack, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Out of the shotgun formation here. Handoff comes right side. Gladson gets stacked up for no gain. Matter of fact, he's lost a couple of yards. The Cats all over that, led by Carson Hansen. And Connor Gladson actually loses 2, almost 3 yards. Will set up 3rd and long for Nashville.
Great pursuit by the left side of that Wilmington defense. He met several guys, 3 of them, I think.
So Colton Gajewski is the starting quarterback today for Nashville. 6'6" quarterback and a lefty at that. Fires down the far sideline. That is way underthrown and intercepted. Wilmington intercepts it at the 42-yard line. Picked off by Ryan Bannis. And the Cats are in business. What in the world happened on that?
Boy,
did it slip out of his hands?
It must have, because nobody was on him. He had plenty of time.
It didn't look like he was hit.
No. That was Bannis at the interception, right?
Yes. 1st and 10 for the Cats at their own 42-yard line. Again, moving right to left, led by Ryder Mentz, the 5'10 junior quarterback. And, of course, the wingbacks today will be 6'2 senior Jacob Friddle to one side and 5'7 junior Colin James to the other. Carson Hansen will be the fullback. This is Friddle who gets up the middle, will squeeze out 4, maybe 5 yards on the first carry of the game for Wilmington off the right side.
Well, in that secondary, he met a vicious tackle head on.
Bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Cats. See if I can get a little shot or two of where we're at here. Throw these up on Facebook in just a minute so everybody can get a look at that. 2nd and 6 for the Cats from their own 46-yard line. Out of the double wing here. Pitch back to Friddle. Across the 45, trying to string it out near the 49-yard line as he'll pick up about 3 more. He'll leave the Cats with 3rd and short here. 3rd down and 3 from the Wilmington 49-yard line. Everything stacked up inside.
And inside is really, they must have done a good job of scouting Wilmington. They're having everybody packed inside again.
Well, and that's what will happen, and we saw this a little bit with Tri-Valley last week, the fact that they threw everybody in the holes, but then after a while, it started to wear down a little bit. Out of the double wing here, 3rd down and 3 from the Wilmington 49. Little stop motion from the far side. This is pitch back, and that's going to be close to a first down for Colin James. Got tripped up. He'll be just short, and the Cats will go for it here more than likely. It'll be 4th and less than a yard.
That was a good defense that time by Nashville. Colin only able to grind out a couple yards that time.
So 4th down and a yard. Wilmington not even hesitating here. They'll go for it from the Nashville 49. Big moment here right away in this championship game. Out of the double wing, 8:55 to go opening quarter. Pitch back to Friddle, and he has a hole inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line of Nashville. That'll be a gain of 7 yards and a Wilmington first down.
Nice job off that right tackle. Got in and put his head down and just pulled the guy with him, number 44. Brendan, nope, wrong team there. Sorry about that.
That'd be Michael Combs.
Michael Combs. He had Michael Combs with him. Michael's hanging on for dear life.
The 6'1" senior linebacker. And once again, Wilmington will use all of the play clock pretty much every time that they snap the ball. So 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Pitch comes left side. There is a flag down. Actually, 2, 3, 4 flags. Everybody saw whatever that was.
That was a unanimous decision.
And there's a false start on Wilmington. And it was obvious enough that every official on the field threw a flag.
You don't usually see that too often. Most of them call their own area out most of the time.
I think 4 out of the 5 officials
What was
threw
wrong
a
with
flag.
every guy? Oh,
Well,
boy.
that's one thing that the Cats cannot do today.
No.
They can't shoot themselves in the foot because you get in the state championship. You can't have penalties. You can't have turnovers. And Nashville has already turned the ball over on the first possession of the game. So 1st and 15 for Wilmington, back out to the 48. Everything stacked up, and James gets inside the 40 down to the 38. He almost broke it all the way. He'll pick up close to 10 yards on first down. Collin just churning out yardage. Matter of fact, it looked like he was standing straight up about 5 yards downfield, looking around going, how am I going to, just standing there trying to figure out how to run around people.
Yeah, there was a hesitation in his move. That's true.
So the Cats will have it 2nd down and call it 6, so a gain of 9 on the previous play for James. Down to 7:10 to go opening quarter. Again, Wilmington out of the double wing. Nashville putting 6 people up on that defensive line. Pitch comes right side. Friddle with a little bit of a hole as he'll pick up a couple more yards. That's going to leave Wilmington with 3rd down and about 3. So a gain of 3 on that play. And again, the Cats here are in 4-down territory. Man, they're going to go for it from their own 49. They're certainly going to go for it inside the opponent 40.
Yeah, they're still 3 short after some good running because they had that penalty. Got to see if we can stay away from those.
So far for the Cats, it's been all James and Friddle. Nothing with Carson Hansen just yet out of that fullback spot. Let's see what Wilmington elects to do here on 3rd and 3 from the 36-yard line of Nashville. Pitch comes left side. This is James, and he's going to get stacked up after a gain of 1, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 2 for Wilmington from the Nashville 35. Well, and again, for the Cats, there has been nothing out of the ordinary here. This has just been regular handoff after regular handoff. There's been no double handoff. There's been no counter play. There's been no fullback dive.
No.
The Cats have been very vanilla in this first drive.
That's not unusual either.
No. And by the way, if they don't convert here, it's nothing to panic over because Wilmington is setting up stuff for later. So 4th down and 2 from the Nashville 35 out of the double wing, 5:35 to go opening corner. Pitch back to James. He's going to get ahead. Has the first down inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 6 more for Jacob Friddle. And the Cats will move the chains again. Ball down to the 29-yard line of Nashville.
Nice, steady drive. Just
By
like
the way,
Coach Rentz wants.
this is this is definitely what Wilmington wants. Hang on to the football.
You're going against a team that has a really good offense. 3,000 plus yards running, 2,000 plus yards passing. So you don't want that ball in their hands.
I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people here in Wilmington, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Cats from the 29-yard line of Nashville. Everything packed in again out of the double wing. Mentz will pitch it left side. This is stacked up after a gain of a couple for James, and to bring up 2nd and long for Wilmington here.
No room there to run at all.
So 2nd down and 9. Again, the Cats have been very vanilla. They haven't gone anything out of the ordinary here, and so far that's worked, and Barry will call the game that way until these kind of things start happening. And then you'll see the counter plays and some of those other looks from this Wilmington offense. What always looks very basic and very simple is actually much more complicated than you think out of this double wing. So everything packed in again. 2nd and 9 from the Nashville 28. Pitch comes left side. Big hole. This is James inside the 25, down near the 22-yard line before he's finally tripped up. And Cowan will get close to 6 yards on 2nd down. It'll bring up 3rd and relatively short. Be 3rd and 4, so a gain of 5 on that 2nd down run for James. And the thing that Wilmington likes here is that it's now down under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Cats have had the ball for almost the entire first quarter on one drive. So 3rd down and 4 from the 23-yard line of Nashville. Again, the Hornets trying to throw everything up on that defensive line here. Mentz back up under center. And we'll pitch it right side. This is Friddle. Breaks free. Friddle inside the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Jacob Friddle in for the touchdown. 22-yard touchdown run for Jacob Friddle. And the Cats are on the board first. 6-0 here in DeKalb.
Wow. What a run inside between the guard and the tackle on the left-hand side. Kept plowing away and finally broke loose. Turned on the afterburners and outran them to the goal.
So Richards on to attempt the extra point here. Boy, that drive accomplished everything that Wilmington wanted to accomplish. Used up a ton of clock, went down the field slowly, and scored a touchdown.
They scored with 3 minutes, 14 seconds left in the first quarter. So almost 9 minutes have been used up by this.
And the extra point here is good. Wilmington leads it 7-0, 3:14 to go opening quarter. Back with more Cats football in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wilmington Pharmacy proudly accepts all insurance plans and can easily transfer your prescriptions. They also offer delivery and a drive-through window. Wilmington Pharmacy is open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. Stop by at 600 West Baltimore Street in Wilmington or call Wilmington Pharmacy at 815-926-1770. That's 815-926-1770. When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk Allred and Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk Allred and Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred and Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred and Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred and Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today.
So Wilmington leads it 7-0, 3:14 to go opening quarter here from the 2A state championship game at NIU, Brigham Field here in DeKalb. So the Cats force an early turnover from Nashville, get an interception, and then take the ball right down the field on a time-consuming drive and end up in the end zone. They lead at 7-0. Another relatively short kick for Richards here. Comes down to about the 8-yard line. Returned out across the 20. Bannis will trip up the returner there at the 23-yard line. There's also a penalty flag down. That's Isaac Turner on the return for Nashville, and this is going to back the Hornets up inside the 20-yard line. Really good coverage on the special teams from Wilmington there. So again, Nashville 1st and 10, the ball all the way back to the Hornets' 12-yard line. Nashville working left to right, one receiver to either side. Out of the shotgun formation is Gajewski with one back to his right. Wilmington looking with 5 up front defensively. Gajewski is going to keep it himself, and that's going to go nowhere. Snowed under at the 12-yard line. The Cats all over that. Cougar Forsyth in there, along with Friddle and Richards. And it will set up 2nd down and long for Nashville. Call it 2nd and basically 10, so no gain. Again, Gajewski out of the shotgun with one back to his right, one receiver to either side as well. Clock running, 2:40 to go in the first, and there's a flag down and a penalty against Nashville, and they just continue to shoot themselves in the foot. Wow. They had the turnover early, then the penalty on the ensuing kickoff, now a false start penalty on Nashville, and they're just going backwards. The ball back to the 7-yard line of the Hornets. So that will be now 2nd and 14, almost 15. One receiver to either side. Gajewski steps up, fires down the far sideline. That ball is dropped out at the 30. And pretty fortunate, Bannis got turned around. Isaac Turner was open out there, but Gajewski just didn't hit him with the ball. And Turner made a really good effort, though. And dove to try to come up with it and couldn't quite hang on. But again, Wilmington last week kind of lived in that area a little bit where there were some open receivers, but the passes just weren't complete. Trips receivers to the far side. Gajewski stepping up in the pocket, fires, and it was almost picked off again. Through the hands of Carson Hansen at the 10-yard line. If Carson hangs on there, that's a pick 6. And I mean went straight through his hands at the 10. And once again, Nashville's going to be forced to give the ball back. The first time was on a really weird interception that just seemed odd. And now Nashville's going to be forced to punt, although this is an odd situation. They got Gajewski out there with 5 receivers and just a quick kick here. And this kick isn't going to go anywhere. I mean, it got a fairly friendly roll out to the 43, and Nashville very fortunate. It ends up at the 44 because that ball hit the ground at about the 30. Well, again, this is exactly the formula Wilmington wants. They get the ball on the Nashville side of the 50 with 2:17 to go in the opening quarter, and the Cats already up 7-0. And we have, I believe, a TV timeout. So we will take one as well. Back with more Cats State Championship football in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wilmington Pizzeria is located at 205 East Baltimore Street in Wilmington. They have pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and a full selection of family meal deals. They offer pickup and delivery too. Wilmington Pizzeria is open Monday through Thursday, 10:30 to 9, and Friday and Saturday from 10:30 to 10. Call Wilmington Pizzeria at 815-476-7011. That's 815-476-7011. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com.
So Wilmington has it now, 1st and 10 from the Nashville 44-yard line. Again, the Hornets pack everything in defensively off the left side. And this is James, I believe, with a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards down to the 41-yard line. Set up 2nd and 7 for Wilmington.
He had absolutely nowhere to go that time. They closed the gap for him.
Gajewski in on the stop for Nashville. Again, up front for the Cats today, Cade Hopwood along with Dominic D'Angelo. Alan Richards at one tight end spot. Caleb Patterson will be at the other one. Of course, Nick Sanford, Sal Lozano, Brody Benson, all up there for the Cats today. Pitch comes left side. Trying to get around the corner is James, and there's a hold. That's going to come back as a run down to the 31-yard line and a penalty at the end. So this might not be too bad. This might be offsetting. We have a holding penalty back out at the 42, but odds are the next penalty is also a face mask. And if that's the case, these two should offset, which would be very good news for Wilmington because the holding penalty would have been disastrous.
Yeah, that'd been way back on the 41, 42-yard line. And
I mean, James ended up down to the 30, but there was a fairly clear hold out at the 42-yard line. So we have a hold against Wilmington and a personal foul face mask against Nashville. Well, one would be a 10-yard penalty. The other would be a 15-yard penalty. So wiping those out is that's really probably what should happen in common sense land. Sometimes football doesn't equal common sense, but
yeah. Okay.
We'll just replay the down, and that, again, is very good news for Wilmington because that was a relatively clear hold, and they get a little bit of help with Nashville, again, getting another penalty.
Yeah, they just showed the replay on that on the screen up there. Both penalties would come out there.
Nashville has just been their own worst enemy. Penalty after penalty after penalty, and a turnover on top of it. Out of the double wing, 2nd down and 7. This is Friddle with a big hold. Jacob Friddle inside the 40 all the way down to the 36, almost the 35 of Nashville. Clock running under 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Cats already leading 7-0. And Wilmington facing a 3rd down and 2 from the Nashville 36.
That was a little bit of a razzle-dazzle by the quarterback at that time. Rather than just a straight handoff or a straight pitch. We're down to 25 seconds, first quarter.
So the Cats facing 3rd down and 2 from the 36. Again, moving right to left here in this first quarter out of the double wing. Pitch back to Friddle. He's stacked up, does not have the first down. Down to about the 35. It'll bring up 4th down and a yard. And that will bring us to the second quarter, and again, what will be another big 4th down for Wilmington.
Boy, these have been very important 4th downs.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Well, a good start for the Cats. Wilmington leads at 7-0 over Nashville. Back with the second quarter of the 2021 IHSA 2A State Championship in just a moment. This is Cats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
So start of quarter number 2, Wilmington leads it 7-0. I will tell you, it's been interesting so far today here at NIU.
I would love to know in this stadium what the red railroad cars look like down there, surrounded by the white picket fence.
I'm not so sure either. I think that might be when they have college games. Maybe it's like, like having a suite up here.
Oh.
But it's in the end zone, like they have, tables and food and drinks and stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
That's just a guess. Like it's like a special party area or
there was
something.
only one of them, I'd say it was a Husky headquarters, and have a Husky in there come out when they score and all. But there's 3 of them.
So be sure to join us at halftime today for the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. We got a while before we get there. Normally, we would have a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard, but being that there's only been one game so far this week for the IHSA football scoreboard, we might transition into some sort of other scoreboard. I'm not really sure what that's going to be yet, but we'll do something at halftime. And we also have a full check of your stats, and we'll get set for the second half, too. So there's going to be some stuff going on. Yeah, that's right. Boy, this must be like the extended television halftime.
Oh. Well, they get their advertising in, don't they?
I guess so. I could have kept ads running, sold some stuff while we were doing this.
Yeah.
Again, Nashville no stranger to the state title game, just like Wilmington. They've been here before. Now, for the Cats, we were talking earlier that Wilmington has not been here, though.
No.
For a while, it was just at U of I, and then a few years back, they started the alternating thing. They went to U of I one year, NIU the next year, and part of that is because of the Northwestern Illinois football series, because Illinois is playing Northwestern tomorrow at home, and that's every other year. That's this weekend. So it kind of forces that game somewhere else, and NIU is a good spot for hosting it, though. Pitch goes left side. This is James, and he did not get it. Matter of fact, he didn't even come close. He got laid out at the 36-yard line. Meeting him around the corner was number 17, Raiden Schwarzkopf. And Nashville turns Wilmington over on downs. Really, there was no room there. And again, the Cats have not gone anything other than vanilla so far. There have not been any counter plays, I don't think. Am I wrong?
No.
No double handoffs, no counters, no nothing.
He had one little fancy handoff one time, but
handoff up the left side doesn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, a gain of 2 on the run by Connor Gladson. Set up 2nd and 8 for Nashville. Be interesting to see what Wilmington goes to offensively in their next possession here. But first they got to get a stop. 2 receivers to the near side. Now in motion goes Turner. They'll hand it off to Gladson trying to get the corner. And there is 2 penalty flags. That's going to be a face mask, I do believe. Wilmington stacks it up at the 40-yard line. But Nashville is going to get a first down if this is indeed the personal foul variety. Pretty clear that it was a face mask. At least that's what it looks like from half a mile away. But
a lot of scrambling going on, clawing and scratching. I'm sure that would not be unusual.
Is it a personal foul or is it the...
It is.
So it's a personal foul variety against Wilmington. So this is going to be the biggest play of the day for Nashville, as a penalty down to the Wilmington 44-yard line. Both teams doing their share of problems here in the first half. Neither team has really played all that clean. Wilmington's done a better job, though, to this point. Pass over the middle. That is incomplete, over the head of the intended receiver.
Once again, he was open.
Down at the 34-yard line, that was Ben Reed, the 6'4" senior. You got to do a lot to throw it over his head, but it was over his head by a good 5 feet.
Yeah, he jumped up, stretched out as far as his long frame would go, and he still couldn't reach it.
So Gajewski out of the shotgun here. One receiver to either side. Second down and 10. Gajewski going to keep it himself up the middle. He gets stacked up about the 40. Be a gain of 4 yards or so. Bring up third down and 6. Well, that was a pretty nice run from Gajewski.
What's his first name?
Alan Richards ended up with the stop. Colton Gajewski. So Wilmington needs to do something defensively here after getting stopped offensively. One receiver to either side. Gajewski hands it off up the middle, and that hits a brick wall as Connor Gladson trying to get up the middle, and he's just absolutely stopped in his tracks at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he got absolutely nowhere.
It'll bring up fourth down and 6. Now, again, Nashville has had all kinds of open receivers so far today. It's just Gajewski hasn't hit them. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Gajewski fires over the middle. That is caught, and it's going to go for a touchdown, I think. Inside the 10, down to the 5, and touchdown Isaac Turner.
Wow.
Well, that was way too easy. And as we said, there are open receivers everywhere, and there were plenty of open receivers there.
He was open by 5 yards.
I mean, there was nobody. Bannis tried to track him down, but that goes to the house in a hurry. And it's a 7-6 Wilmington lead.
Oh, was that Gladson then again? Or?
So Turner with the touchdown reception. And extra point upcoming here. The kick is ugly, but it goes through. And we're tied at 7 with 10 minutes to go in the half. We'll take a break, come back with more Cats State Championship football in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
Well, Nashville answers, and they tie the game at 7 here with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. And quite frankly, Wilmington has been very lucky that Nashville hasn't hit some big pass plays already. Receivers have been open all over the place. It's just Gajewski hasn't hit them.
I think there's only one time.
And the onside kick goes out of bounds, and we've seen Nashville try some things last week, and they converted twice, and they almost converted there.
He just missed that second bounce.
That was a beautiful onside kick.
Oh, man. Went right on out of bounds.
Eduardo Garibay with the onside kick. It was nice. Got the hop they needed. It just carried out of bounds. And the problem for Nashville there is now you all of a sudden set Wilmington up with a short field. However, that was very close to being
that almost was
success.
Right. That was close. He just missed catching that ball on the bounce.
Well, now Wilmington's at the point where they've got to hang on to the football and get points here. They can't afford to give the ball back, especially how fast Nashville just scored. Out of the double wing here for the Cats. Underneath, Carson Hansen with a big hole. He's all the way out across midfield near the 49.
There was a little switch up
of Nashville. That's a gain of 7 yards. Bring up second down and just go wing back, wing back, wing back. And they do there as Hansen gets his first carry as a fullback. We have not seen any counter plays yet.
No, not so far.
So 2nd down and 3 from midfield.
Well, the thing about Nashville is they can strike so quick.
Boy, this is shaping up to be a great 2A state championship game. Pitch comes left side. This is James. He'll get the first down to the 47-yard line before he's wrapped up. Well, I think he will. Yep, they do call it a first down. It's like Cats will have it 1st and 10 from the 47 of Nashville, down to 9 minutes to go in the half.
Colin having a little harder time getting his yards today. He's got a couple of nice runs of 10 and 6. The rest of them have been 3 or below.
So everything once again packed in here. 1st and 10 from the 47. Out of the double wing again. Underneath, Hansen will get a yard, and that's it. Set up 2nd down and 9. Again, it just seems like Barry just slowly moving a couple of things in here and there. Hasn't gone crazy with calling all kinds of stuff. But this drive here, you're going to have to come up with something. So if you're going to get a little creative, this would be the drive to get creative.
Yeah, they need to hang on to this ball and go down the field.
So 2nd and 9 from the 41. Out of the double wing. Pitch comes right side. This is Friddle down near the 40-yard line before he's tripped up. Stopped in the play by Quentin Lacasco. Bring up 3rd down and 3. Now, Wilmington has faced 3rd and 3 multiple times, and Nashville has been very stingy on short yardage situations. As a matter of fact, the last time Wilmington had it 4th and a yard, and Nashville got a stop. Barry once again taking tons of time off that clock. Down to 7:15 to go in the half. Wilmington 3rd and 3 from the Nashville 40. Again, packed in to this double wing set. Mentz under center, pitches it right side. This is going to be close to a first down. Stretching it out near that marker is Friddle. I believe he does have it, although it depends on the spot on the near side official.
Well,
the far side official definitely has it as a first down. And that's got to be a first down where that's, well, they're not even going to measure that?
Oh, they got to measure that. They're both at the yard line, the strike line. It could be a first down.
How do you? Now we're I can't tell you if it's a first down or not.
I mean, we're right on it. I'm standing right here by it. And
That's very interesting.
I tell you what.
All right, 4th down and a yard. Last time Nashville stopped them. Let's see what Wilmington does here. 4th and a yard. Pitch comes left side. This is James, and he's going to get the first down to the 35-yard line of Nashville, a gain of 2. But you begin to get a little leery when you get stopped on 1 4th down. What's going to happen on the second one?
And that one wasn't easy. He had to keep fighting to get those 2 yards. They are being very stingy with the yardage.
So 1st and 10 for Wilmington from the 35 of Nashville. Down to 5:55 to go in this opening half. And again, what Wilmington wants to do here is take off another 3 or 4 minutes off that clock, maybe all 5 minutes before they get
You better believe it. They'd like to get all 5
to the end
off.
zone. Out of the double wing again. Nashville with 5 defenders up front, almost 6 now. Pitch comes right side. There's just not much there. And again, Wilmington has been very straightforward in this first half. There's been little or nothing to do with any counter plays so far. That was Friddle for a gain of 2 yards and bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, the yards are coming pretty hard.
And it could be Barry's waiting for a spot that he thinks he can exploit that over pursuit of the Nashville defense. Down to 5 minutes to go in the opening half. This is going to be a very quick football game because Wilmington will hang on to the ball for a while. Again, everything packed in. 2nd and 8 in motion. Now here's a counter play underneath, and that goes nowhere. Nashville ready for that. Matter of fact, almost 2 ready for it as Friddle gets nothing. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8. So Gajewski on the stop for Nashville.
I think Nashville's pretty much used to that offense now.
Well, they were ready for the counter, that's for sure.
Boy, they were.
That was
weren't they?
less open than anything else.
Wow.
You know, you kind of come down to, at some point, you know, we've talked all year that the Cats might have to throw the football at some point because somebody's going to be able to stop what you're doing, and they haven't come up to anybody that can stop it. But this might be the week.
Yeah, this is close.
3rd down and 8. Well, this will be interesting. Mentz up under center from the 33. Pitch goes left side. This is James. And no flag for a face mask. None at all. Here's the replay on the board. And he literally pulled him down by the helmet. So 4th down and 10.
Who was that was running, by the way?
I don't know how you missed that one, but in any case, James gets no yards. Actually, lost 2 yards. And, I mean, I don't know if that was strictly by the face mask or not. I can't really tell from here for the board, but it definitely got tackled by the helmet.
Yeah, it's threw him around a circle by the helmet.
This ball bounces back to Richards, and he somehow gets a kickoff, as that was a very odd snap, and the ball will go out of bounds down at the 13-yard line. And, boy, the Wilmington fans were not happy.
That was bad. Oh. That looked terrible. That looked vicious.
Well, I mean, even still, even if you say, you know, there's a penalty there, that play didn't work either. So no matter what, Wilmington has come up with some problems here in the second quarter offensively.
They're going to have to try something different, aren't they?
And there's a timeout here. I believe this is another media timeout. We'll take a break, come back with more Cats football in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wilmington Pharmacy proudly accepts all insurance plans and can easily transfer your prescriptions. They also offer delivery and a drive-through window. Wilmington Pharmacy is open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. Stop by at 600 West Baltimore Street in Wilmington or call Wilmington Pharmacy at 815-926-1770. That's 815-926-1770.
So out of the timeout, keeper by Gajewski goes nowhere. Matter of fact, a loss of 2 yards. Is Wilmington there to kind of stack that up, led by Sanford. And that will make a 2nd and 12 for Nashville, back at their own 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 back to the near. Gajewski out of the shotgun, and if I was Nashville, I'd just keep airing the ball out, I do believe. And there is a penalty on Wilmington. They haven't even got lined up yet.
What in the world was that for?
They called encroachment, but I don't think anybody had lined up yet, had they?
I don't think so.
I mean, if they did, it was barely. There definitely wasn't much time to adjust if you were. Anyway, it goes to now 2nd down and 7. So, again, Wilmington just consistently shooting themselves in the foot now. It's been a battle deciding who's going to do that more. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Gajewski out of the shotgun, fires down the sideline as a receiver wide open, and he doesn't have it, out of bounds at the 43. And that's a very fortunate call because he did catch that. at the 43-yard line. Bannis fell down. That could have been a touchdown, quite frankly.
If that would have been anywhere in bounds, it would have been a
You
touchdown.
watch this replay. That's a reception. That's 100% a reception. And I thought it was a reception. Yeah, he's got one foot in, doesn't he?
I don't know.
It sure looked like that to me, but again, I'm a long ways away. In any case, Wilmington catches a break there. 3rd down and 7. Nashville from their own 15. Gajewski drops back. There's a hold right in the middle of the field, a big hold, and that's not called at all. I mean, Sanford was literally trying to go by the offensive lineman who had a hold of his jersey, holding him back.
And he was literally on the other side of the guy, and he was hanging onto his back.
Like he was a sled dog.
I can't believe they didn't call that either.
So the pass incomplete over the middle as the fires, again, high over the head of the intended receiver. And with 2:18 left, Nashville's going to be forced to what we think will be punted away. And it's blocked. It's blocked on the quick kick, and Wilmington will cover it up at the 18-yard line. Well, that's a huge break for the Cats. Boy, Carson Hansen getting through. I still don't understand why you're doing a quick kick from 5 yards back from the line of scrimmage to begin with.
I don't either.
If you're going to do a quick kick, go 7 yards back or something, 7 or 8. Well, that's really dangerous for Nashville because now Wilmington set up with a short field, and we have another media timeout. 2:15 to go in the opening half. Everything tied up at 7. Back with more of the 2A state championship in a moment here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk Allred and Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk Allred and Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred and Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred and Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred and Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today.
$2:15 to go in the half. Wilmington and Nashville tied at 7 from the 2A state championship game. Wilmington set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 at the Nashville 18 after a punt was blocked. It was really a quick kick by Gajewski. Hansen got through, got a hand on it. Now all of a sudden, Wilmington deep in Nashville territory with 2:15 to go in the half. Be sure to stick around for the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. We'll check your first half stats and a scoreboard of some sort. 1st and 10 from the 18. Pitch comes right side. This is Friddle. Big hole inside the 15 all the way down to the 11-yard line. A gain of 7 for Jacob on 1st down. Bring up 2nd down and 3. And the one big bonus for Wilmington here is that they can burn the entire 2 minutes off of this clock before they get any points in the half, or at least get very close to it. There's 25 seconds still on the play clock, so it's going to be down under 1:30 no matter what happens here. And the best possible solution for the Cats would be get a 1st down, run a play or 2, run the clock out, and get in the end zone. 2nd down and 3 from the 11-yard line. Out of the double wing here, going left to right. Inside the 10, down near the 9 goes
they're just
Friddle.
They're not getting much off of them.
That's a gain of 2 yards. Wilmington will face 3rd down and 1 from the 9-yard line. Now, this is what we just talked about. No matter what here, there won't be any time left for Nashville on that clock. So the Cats will basically decide what happens here at the end of the first half. Down to 1 minute to go in this first half. Clock running. 3rd down and a yard from the 9-yard line. This is James. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Colin James all the way down to the 3-yard line.
Was that power?
A gain of 6 yards and a Wilmington 1st down. Again, clock will start running again with 55 seconds to go in the half. Wilmington will be in no hurry. The Cats do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, so they can run the ball a couple of times if they need to and take timeouts.
Now Barry's just standing here watching out there for a while. Now he calls the play. He's in no hurry at all.
So down to 37 seconds to go in the half. Wilmington facing a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line of Nashville. Trying to go up before the half. Pitch comes right side. Inside the 2. Down near the 1. And that's where everything will be stacked up. Down to 22 seconds. Wilmington should use a timeout here, and they will. And the timeout will leave Wilmington with 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line with 19 seconds to go in the half. Well, this has been a very interesting first half.
Can you fill me on what just happened there? I know.
James with a gain of a couple. And it gets down to the 1, and Wilmington will face 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Again, best possible scenario here is Wilmington goes into the end zone, and we're down to 15 seconds or so left.
Yeah,
and Nashville doesn't have anything left to go. And by the way, Wilmington will get the ball to start the second half as well. So this could be the old double whammy. You get a touchdown here, get the ball at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, and if you could score there, now all of a sudden Nashville's working from behind and trying to catch up.
And, of course, Nashville is more suited to working from behind because they have the passing offense.
That they do, but then much like we saw with Tri-Valley, once you get there, you start pressing a little bit more and you try to start doing too much, and then all of a sudden, it turns into something that you don't want it to be. So 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line for Wilmington. Everything packed in. 19 seconds to go in the half. This is Mentz with the quarterback keeper. Ryder Mentz is in for the touchdown. And Wilmington up 13-7 with 16 seconds to go in the opening half. Boy, that is textbook from Wilmington. Get the ball, burn the clock, get a touchdown.
Wow.
And go up a score.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful football from Wilmington's eyes.
So Richards on to attempt the extra point, trying to put the Cats up 7. I would say Wilmington has a distinct advantage in the kicking department, but maybe not. They did get a field goal to win the game last week. And we have a false start in Wilmington. So now that gets a little bit more interesting. So it goes from the 20-yard extra point to a 25-yard extra point.
That's their 3rd penalty.
And you never want to have to re-kick anything. And even with Richards, actually we'll go back to a 27-yard extra point.
Yeah, he's got plenty of leg for it, but you put just a little bit more pressure on.
Well, you just don't want to ever have to do it again. I mean, even just a regular extra point, you don't want to have to do it again. Well, this might be interesting right here. Good snap, good hold. The kick by Richards is good. In fact, goes off the net in front of the scoreboard, and that's how far through it goes. And Wilmington leads at 14-7 with 16 seconds to go in the opening half. Again, stick around for the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. We'll have your first half stats. We'll check some things going on around the state. We'll get you set for the second half as well. Our crack production team is hard at work on coming up with halftime material. So Wilmington will get set to kick off with 16 seconds to go in the half. Now, if you're Wilmington, you don't want to give up some sort of big return here either. But the Cats do find themselves in a pretty good position here going into the half, barring some sort of craziness from Nashville here. So Richards will get set to kick it off from the 40, kicking left to right into what little breeze there is. Actually, it's almost blowing cross field, so if you're going to say he was kicking it into any sort of breeze, this would be the direction in which that would happen. And actually, quite honestly, for a state championship weekend, the weather's not too bad. Upper 30s, no rain, no snow. It's not real windy.
Hey, I think it's wonderful being here.
Well, yeah, for us, for sure. I mean,
No, football-wise, it's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. The approach here from Richards, line drive kick. Let's see if it gets into the end zone. It will not. It comes down to the 6, and Wilmington trying to play it a little safe here. The return comes across the 25 to the 27, and Nashville will have 10 seconds in which to do something here at the end of the first half. And if I'm Nashville, I air this thing out, man.
Air it out.
I throw that ball as far as I can throw it because the way Wilmington has defended the pass so far, it's been very susceptible. The good news for the Cats is they've had the football for the whole first half.
That's one of their best defensive maneuvers there is to hang on to that football.
All right, so Wilmington goes very deep prevent here. They got 2 safeties back at the 50, and the line of scrimmage is at the 27. Handoff goes right side. That's not going to go anywhere. A gain of about 3 yards on the run for Connor Gladson, and that's going to take us to the half. Well, Wilmington gave up 1 touchdown, but they also held on to the football for quite a while. The Cats lead it 14-7 at the half of the 2021 IHSA Class 2A state championship game. We'll take a break. We'll come back with your halftime show in just a moment. The halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. We're back with that in just a minute. This is Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wilmington Pizzeria is located at 205 East Baltimore Street in Wilmington. They have pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and a full selection of family meal deals. They offer pickup and delivery too. Wilmington Pizzeria is open Monday through Thursday, 10:30 to 9, and Friday and Saturday from 10:30 to 10. Call Wilmington Pizzeria at 815-476-7011. That's 815-476-7011. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
Welcome into the halftime show, brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. The Cats lead at 14-7 at the half here at NIU as the Cats got a couple of gifts early on. The weirdly thrown interception by Gajewski right away in the first quarter. Wilmington scores a touchdown. Then things were kind of a stalemate for a while, and all of a sudden the Cats give up a touchdown pass, and then Wilmington gets another gift of a blocked quick kick, I guess you could call it, by Gajewski, the quarterback, that set Wilmington up at the 18 right before the half. The Cats go in, get another score, and to top it off, Wilmington will also get the ball to start the second half. And if the Cats can turn that into points, then now you got something going. But in any case, Wilmington leads at the half 14-7 over Nashville. All right, your first half stats. Let's start for the Nashville Hornets rushing the ball. Colton Gajewski, 3 carries for 2 yards. Connor Gladson ran the ball 5 times for 5 yards. So Nashville, 8 rushing attempts for 7 yards in the half. Through the air, Colton Gajewski, 1 of 7 for 37 yards. And that 137-yard pass was a touchdown. So 30-yard pass, was a touchdown. You put everything together, it's 37 yards. Nashville has 37 yards of offense in the first half and has only a 7-point disadvantage. For the Wilmington Wildcats, who pretty much hung on to the ball for the entire first half. Ryder Mentz, 1 carry for 1 yard and a touchdown. He got that on the quarterback keeper down there at the 1. Jacob Friddle, 14 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. Colin James ran the ball 12 times for 35 yards. And Carson Hansen, 2 carries for 8 yards. Ryan Bannis came up with an interception in that first quarter as well. So Wilmington, 29 rushing attempts for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Cats did not attempt a pass in the first half. A very, very low stat total on both sides of this game. Wilmington outgaining Nashville 116 to 37 in the first half. And this is a team that's racking up, 400, 500 yards of offense a game.
Yeah, they had over 5,000, between 5,000 to 6,000 yards for the season. So they're used to putting up yards and points.
Well, that they are, but so far today, Wilmington doing a pretty good job of just hanging on to the football. I mean, we said before that if the Cats want to win, they have to hang on to the ball. They can't afford to let Nashville just have possession after possession, because eventually the Hornets are going to score. By the way, Wilmington's band out in the middle of Brigham Field at the moment, going through their halftime show, and I can only assume at some points that Nashville will have their band come out here as well, but maybe not. I don't know. Their band is at least on the far sideline.
Yeah, so I thought maybe they weren't here either. And I looked over, and there they were on the end of the farther sideline. So,
all right, so we are about 13 minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half. Wilmington leads at 14-7. Let's take another timeout. When we come back, we will get to a check of the IHSA /NCAA /Pro Sports Scoreboard, brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates. We'll do that here in just a few minutes. This is Wilmington Wildcats playoff football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
Hey, Billy, where do you think you're going with that beer?
What's the big deal? He is at home.
Nice, Bob. Real nice.
Look, they're practically grown. They're juniors and seniors now, and they're here for the day. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that may be true for yours, but you can't let the others drink.
In Illinois, the social host law holds adults accountable for underage drinking.
If a minor who was drinking at your house injures or kills someone, you are guilty of a Class 4 felony. You get fined. You go to jail.
So, being the host, aka the adult, letting high schoolers drink is illegal.
Be their guide. Don't provide. If you or someone you know abuses alcohol or drugs, please call 815-476-1660. Help is only a phone call away.
This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with ONDCP and SAMHSA.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
Back in the halftime show, brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. Also at 815-476-7916. Wilmington leads Nashville 14-7 here at Brigham Field at NIU in DeKalb. As we get ready for the start of half number 2. We got about 8, 9, maybe 10 minutes before the start of the second half. That gives us an opportunity to check what's going to be the weirdest scoreboard update of the year from the, we'll just call it the scoreboard update by Odekirk Allred and Associates. We appreciate them sponsoring things all year. We do have one football score to talk about today. That was the Class 1A championship that was finishing up just before our game here. Lena Winslow 38-25 over Carrollton. They've racked up a bunch of state championships. I want to say 5 now. So 5 state championships for Lena Winslow as they win today. That game went crazy long earlier, which is one of the reasons that we were scrambling to get in here. We appreciate the radio station that was in here before us trying to work with us and make things happen because they knew it was going to be kind of chaotic too. But in any case, 38-25, Lena Winslow wins their 5th state championship over Carrollton. That was earlier today. Also later today, of course, Wilmington up 14-7 to Nashville here at the half. The 3A state game later today is going to be very interesting. That's at 4 o'clock between Byron and Tolono Unity. Of course, Byron got that really late score last week to defeat Immaculate Conception from up there in Elmhurst, and they get back into the state championship game going up against Tolono Unity. And then what's going to be a pretty good battle in the 4H state championship. Now, I know everybody's thinking Joliet Catholic would cruise through, and they have so far, but they might have a little bit of a test tonight at 7 o'clock. Joliet Catholic will take on Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin for the 4A title, and that's going to be, I think, a lot tougher test for Joliet Catholic than people think, although the Hilltoppers have been rolling everybody so far this year. And then, of course, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., Kankakee will play in the 5A state championship. And then at 7 o'clock tomorrow night in the 8A championship, Lockport will play in that one. So there's a lot of area teams bouncing around in these state championship games, and teams that we know, of course, like Byron and others. All right, let's move to some boys basketball going on over the weekend. Of course, we have some of those turkey tournaments happening. Final from today, Lincoln Way Central defeats Rich Township 58-42. Now, there's a bunch of games scheduled for today, but not a lot have happened yet. Of course, we're still relatively early in the day. Also, Conant, a 35-32 winner over De La Salle. Nothing like the high-scoring 35-32 basketball game between Conant and De La Salle. Hononegah, 54-53 over Barrington. That's a final. In fact, they're playing that up at Crystal Lake Central. And Mount Zion, 76-23 over Georgetown Ridge Farm. That's at the Paris tournament. That's a final. These are basketball scores once again. Again today, just going to see if there's anything else. I think that might be, there's a few more here. St. John Bosco, 76-33 over Tinley Park. That's a final out at Washington High School. Tri-County, which is Kansas, Shiloh, Oakland, a 49-40 winner over Martinsville. That game was at Tri-County. All right, so that's some boys basketball scores going on from around the state. While we're at it, let's look at some other scores happening as well. Let's look at college football from today. San Diego State, the number 21 team in the country, holds a 27-16 lead over Boise State with just 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there. Nebraska leads number 16 Iowa 14-6 with 14:50 to go in the third, so just underway in the second half. And Texas barely hung on to beat Kansas State today, 22-17. In college basketball scores, the number 4 team in the country, Kansas, trailing Dayton 70-67. The Flyers might actually upset the Jayhawks with 3 minutes to go in the game there. Speaking of upsets, with 6 minutes to go in the half, VCU leads number 22 UConn 50-47. Number 15, Tennessee leads Tennessee Tech 18-16 with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. A couple of finals as well. Number 6, Baylor, a 75-58 winner over Michigan State. That was at the Bad Boy Moores Battle for Atlantis. And Miami, 69-63 over North Texas in the ESPN International Tournament. So I think that just about covers everything that we're going to have so far today. I mean, if you want an NHL score, the Bruins and Rangers are tied at 2, so you got that. And of course, the Bears had their last-second field goal yesterday to beat the Lions 16-14.
If you want to put in somebody's hands to win the game or not, that Bears kicker is a good place to put it.
Yeah, that's true. So that's a full check of the scoreboard, we'll just call it, from Odekirk Allred and Associates. We really do appreciate them sponsoring that this year. We've had all kinds of scores from everywhere. There have been some weeks where we've had like 9 minutes worth of high school football scores. That's been fun to do. We appreciate Odekirk Allred and Associates sponsoring that so we can bring all those scores to you. That does take some effort, by the way. We had a team that all they do is work on scores. Some people think that's easy, and you can go to the IHSA scoreboard and get some scores and stuff, but I would say a tenth of what they find is on the IHSA scoreboard. They look everywhere. They got connections all over the place to get scores. And so we do appreciate that, and we appreciate Odekirk Allred and Associates for sponsoring it. All right, the Cats lead it 14-7 over Nashville. Wilmington will get the ball to start the second half. Matter of fact, we are about 4 minutes away from that moment. So we will wrap up the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and at 815-476-7916. Take a break, come back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll be set for the second half of the 2A state championship where Wilmington leads it 14-7 back in a few minutes here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wilmington Pharmacy proudly accepts all insurance plans and can easily transfer your prescriptions. They also offer delivery and a drive-through window. Wilmington Pharmacy is open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. Stop by at 600 West Baltimore Street in Wilmington or call Wilmington Pharmacy at 815-926-1770. That's 815-926-1770.
Hey, Billy, where do you think you're going with that beer?
What's the big deal? He is at home.
Nice, Bob. Real nice.
Look, they're practically grown. They're juniors and seniors now, and they're here for the day. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that may be true for yours, but you can't let the others drink.
In Illinois, the social host law holds adults accountable for underage drinking.
If a minor who was drinking at your house injures or kills someone, you are guilty of a Class 4 felony. You get fined. You go to jail.
So, being the host, aka the adult, letting high schoolers drink is illegal.
Be their guide, don't provide. If you or someone you know abuses alcohol or drugs, please call 815-476-1660. Help is only a phone call away.
This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with ONDCP and SAMHSA.
Wilmington Pizzeria is located at 205 East Baltimore Street in Wilmington. They have pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and a full selection of family meal deals. They offer pickup and delivery too. Wilmington Pizzeria is open Monday through Thursday, 10:30 to 9, and Friday and Saturday from 10:30 to 10. Call Wilmington Pizzeria at 815-476-7011. That's 815-476-7011.
About a minute away from the start of half number 2 of the 2021 IHSA Class 2A state championship football game between Wilmington and Nashville. Right now, the Cats lead at 14-7. We'll see how this second half unfolds. I will tell you, off the top, it looked like Wilmington was going to be a little bit of control and Nashville was going to have some problems. And then all of a sudden, Nashville made a stop defensively and then got a quick touchdown strike. Boom, boom, there it is, and it's tied at 7. But for all of that, Nashville only has 37 yards of offense in the first half.
only had 37 yards of offense, and they've only had, to this day, today, they only had 6 total passes intercepted all year long. And they threw that one crazy one.
I don't know what it had to have slipped out of his hand or something.
Must have, because they were really very good at hanging on the ball. The lowest point total they've had this year in any game is 21. They lost 26-21, second game of the year so far.
All right, well, let's see what the Cats can do to start the second half. They'll be returning left to right here off the kick of Eduardo Garibay, the 5'8 sophomore kicker who has not been afraid to do onside kicks and has been really good at it. Got 2 last week and almost converted 1 this week. And it's a little chip kick here down to the 35, out across the 30, and back to the 25, across the 35, and Carson Hansen almost returned it for a touchdown. I thought he was down at the 35, and then last second he broke loose and just got tripped up at the 43. There was no one left. Carson would have went to the end zone.
Boy, that was close.
That looked like that was done back at the 35. Caught it back at the 25, and Wilmington will have 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. Wait, is that the sun that I see coming out? What's the chances of that happening in November? Almost never see the sun between November and February, it seems like. Out of the double wing, pitch comes right side across the 45 out near midfield. On a gain of 5 yards goes Jacob Friddle. Bring up 2nd down at 5 for the Cats from their own 49-yard line. Again, the big thing for the Cats here is to get points to start the second half and to put Nashville in the hole.
Did you see that blocking up front that time? They had just really caved in that left side of the defensive line.
Wilmington has been very consistent this year, too. Even when they've gotten down in games or been tied or other times, they just seem to be consistent. They don't get rattled. They just keep working. 2nd down and 5 from the 49. Little stop motion here for the Cats. And again, pitch comes off the right side, inside the 50, down to the 45. Still going down to the 44-yard line.
Wow.
Is Jacob Friddle. That'll be a gain of 10 yards and a Wilmington 1st down. Boy, carrying defenders with him for a while.
Dominic was right in front of him, too. How many total did he get?
10 yards off of what really should have been about 4.
Let's see, James Collins.
So 1st and 10 for Wilmington from the 41 of Nashville. Getting some pretty good chunk yardage here to start the second half. 10:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Out of the double wing again, working left to right. Pitch goes to James, trying to get the corner. Gets around the 40 to the 35. James to the 30, all the way down to the 27-yard line before he's run out of bounds. That's a gain of 14 more in a Wilmington 1st down, and now the Cats starting to pick up big yardage. And we talked before, Wilmington a lot of times in the first half is kind of slow, seeing how things work, and then you have coaches up here looking at things and making adjustments at the half, knowing where some openings are.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Wilmington ripping off big yardage here to start the 3rd quarter.
You have that happening, and then also it weighs heavily on that defensive line against them. They pound that line, and finally it starts breaking.
So Nashville with 6 up front now from the 27. Pitch goes right side inside the 25-yard line. Down to the 24, almost the 23 on the carry goes. Is that Friddle? It is. He'll pick up 4 yards, bring up 2nd down and 6 from the Nashville 23. And just as important as it is for Wilmington to get points here, it is for Nashville to get a stop on this drive.
Yes, Nashville realizes that they've got to some way find a way to stop this Wilmington juggernaut.
So 9:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Wilmington has it 2nd and 6 from the 23-yard line of Nashville. Again, out of the double wing. Pitch comes left side. James trying to get the corner inside the 25, down to the 20, and a flag down is
looked like he might have gotten
come down to the 15. I think that's going to be a hold. Looked like Richards on the outside might have had a hold of somebody, and it is.
Oh, he looked like he grabbed him on the helmet up there again. Huh. Well, that's a big penalty, isn't it?
Yeah, and the Cats have had their share. This has been anything but a clean game, the hold on Wilmington. The Cats have managed to overcome some things, but there's a huge difference in 2nd and 7 and 2nd and 14 or whatever it is now, or 2nd and 6, I think it was.
Yeah.
But Wilmington will have 3 plays. I would be surprised if they kick a field goal, but maybe they would at some point here. Out of the double wing, let's see what the Cats have. Pitch comes right side. That's not going anywhere. A gain of maybe 3 yards for Friddle. They'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Boy, that was a huge penalty.
It was. Because that was right at the extreme end of the play. I thought he was going to call when he grabbed hold of his helmet, because he again turned his head when he grabbed hold of his helmet. I thought maybe he might have got a face mask.
Well, Wilmington facing 3rd and long here, and they're also facing a really long field goal if they don't convert. I mean, and Allen has been very good kicking this year, but there is some breeze today, and 45 yards into a wind would be asking an awful lot. Here's the double handoff, trying to get the corner is Friddle, and he'll be chopped down back at the 30. That's a loss of 2, maybe 3 yards on that play. Ben Reed, the 6'4 senior, making the tackle. And Wilmington in big trouble. I don't even know if you can attempt a field goal from here into this wind.
Boy, that was a great defensive play. They strung that out. Big number 6 out here in the end. Colton, he came out and made the play on the end.
Well, one thing about it, if Richards attempts the field goal from here, if it gets into the end zone, the ball will go down to the 20 anyway. So even if he doesn't make it, it doesn't really hurt you unless they block the kick. This is asking an awful lot into a breeze.
Yes,
47-yard attempt left to right here from Richards. Good snap, good hold. The kick from Richards is not going to make it. It's not even going to get close. It's probably 10 yards, maybe 5 yards short. And Nashville will hold, but that's actually not the worst thing in the world for Wilmington, because the ball's going to come back out to the 20-yard line just like it would be on a touchback and a punt anyway. And Nashville will have it 1st and 10 from their 20. But what absolutely killed the Wildcats on that drive was a holding penalty, because Wilmington would have been set up at 3rd and short or maybe even a 1st down. And then that went to 2nd and long, and all of a sudden Wilmington double wing offense doesn't work from 2nd and 15. You can't have those kind of things happen if you're the Cats. So let's see what Nashville has here. They do get a stop, albeit with the help of a penalty. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 8 after the carry by Connor Gladson picks up 2 out to the 22-yard line. 7:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Gajewski fires, and that is incomplete. That was close to pass interference, but Banis getting in there, breaking it up, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Hey, one thing, it was uncatchable.
Well, that and Banis does have some room to get to the football, too. So you have to leave that.
That's true.
Ryan has had an interception today, but he's also had a couple of rough plays back there. He's trying to stay on an island. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. Gajewski fires to the far side. He overshoots another intended receiver. That ball was nowhere near anybody. And again, he had Ben Reed wide open. I mean, easy enough that it should have been a pitch and catch.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some wide open receivers.
So
this will be 4th down and 8.
Gajewski going to be forced to punt it away. And if I'm Nashville, move him back.
Yes,
a couple more yards. He looks deeper this time. The last time he was about 5 yards. He's back to about 7. So
I would say he's gone back 2 yards farther.
Now he's backing up even more. His coach is like, hey, back up some, please. And this kick going to come down at the 42, picked up there, and out to the 44-yard line goes James, and Wilmington will start there 1st and 10 with 6:17 to go in the 3rd. Again, Wilmington in a situation where they really need some points on this drive. And we have a timeout, I do believe, so we will take one as well. 6:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. Wilmington leads at 14-7. Back with more of the 2A state championship in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. Phelan Acres Bible Church is the perfect place if you are looking for a church to call home. They have services every week, including Sunday school at 9:45, morning worship at 11, and Wednesday night prayer meetings at 7. Phelan Acres Bible Church is located at 26009 Willow Lane in Wilmington, Illinois. And for more information, call 815-476-7818. That's 815-476-7818. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
So the Cats have it 1st and 10 from their own 44, going left to right with 6:17 to go in the third quarter. Underneath it comes to Friddle, and there's not much there. Maybe a gain of a yard. That's about it. So Wilmington will face a 2nd down and 9.
I believe I'd fake something to Friddle and go the other direction. They were really keen on him.
The Cats have met their match a little bit here in this Nashville defense. Although we have seen Reed Custer played Wilmington really tough defensively. Coal City did. Piatone did. There have been some teams that have managed to hold Wilmington down a little bit, but it's been a while since we've seen one of those. That was the first half of the year.
Yeah, the last half of the year, they've pretty well owned the football field most of the time.
So 2nd and 9 from the 45 out of the double wing here. Pitch comes to James trying to get the left side. He's not going to. That gets thrown back for a loss of about 3 yards. That's Isaac Turner on the stop. And that had no chance. And see, you kind of come back to when a defense like this that's pretty effective at stopping the run knows there's no chance you're ever going to throw the ball, they're not even going to think about a pass.
No, they're moved up.
Matter of fact, they're bringing in the safety to make those tackles. I mean, that's Isaac Turner is playing the deepest defensive back spot you can get, and he made the tackle on a pitch for a 3-yard loss. So they're not worried about anybody throwing a pass ever. So 3rd down and 12 from the 42-yard line. Ment's going to throw a pass here, or at least drop back like he's going to throw one, but he is not going to make that happen, and he's dropped for another big loss.
Once again, he could have thrown it and not had the loss.
A loss of 5 more. And there's really no need for Nashville to worry about the pass because Ryder really needed to get rid of the football and didn't.
Yeah, that was too bad because it cost them another 5 yards they couldn't afford. But you get yourself down there and they're chasing you down. You don't feel too comfortable.
So Richards with the kick. It's a line drive. Bounces inside the 25, and then for some reason is down at the 22-yard line by Patterson, and Coach Reentz is furious out of that play.
That was
so why would you pick that up? It bounced once. They could have gone down inside the 10. But Wilmington does flip field position a little bit here, back to the 22. The problem for the Cats has been all of a sudden there's nothing offensively. They went backwards, and we got another timeout. 3:44 to go in this third quarter. Back with more of this state championship game in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
So 14-7 the lead for Wilmington, but it has been a stalemate in the second half. Nashville has it 1st and 10 from the 22. Gajewski fires deep down the sideline. That is incomplete, and 2 flags thrown as Isaac Turner double covered.
Actually, it was 2 Wilmington guys there, wasn't it?
Yep. There was no need to even do pass interference.
Well, he was trying to back up and get out of the way. He was trying to back up and get out of the way because the pass was not thrown to the receiver. It was thrown inside the field.
Well, the Cats, again, have been their own worst enemy for the last couple of quarters. A bunch of penalties. They need to get the ship righted in a hurry. Handoff goes far side. That should be a hold on the outside and isn't called either. And that dropped down to the far side, and now another penalty flag.
Now they're going to call him for getting hold of his shoulder pad, I think.
I mean, this all of a sudden has turned into a slew of penalty flags on Wilmington, and there have been at least 4 blatant holds on Nashville, and not a single one has been called.
None. 0.
I mean, that one to the outside, that's the second time that someone's been dragged to the ground on the outside. So a horse collar tackle on Wilmington. I guess tackling by the helmet is okay, but as long as you don't grab the horse collar, you'll be fine. So 1st and 10 from the Wilmington 39, but again, the Cats continuing to rack up penalties, and some of them very legitimate penalties.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got to figure out a way to bring things to a halt. This is Gajewski firing the ball deep downfield. That is incomplete, and the pass intended down to the 10-yard line. Gajewski lucky to even get that pass off as he's pressured in the backfield. Bring up 2nd and 10 from the Wilmington 39.
Gajewski, he's a pretty good-sized kid. 6'6", 210 pounds. No wonder he's hard to bring down.
Yeah,
he's a
big kid. And this Nashville team plenty good enough without giving him extra help.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you don't want to give him any help, that's for sure.
2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Gajewski hands the ball up the middle. This is Connor Gladson, who's had his share of success this year, only gets about 3 there. Bring up 3rd down and 7 for Nashville from the Wilmington 36, and this is right about where Nashville got a touchdown last time.
Gladson has gotten 2 runs of 3 yards. That's been his big ones.
So 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Out of the shotgun is Gajewski, drops back to pass, fires deep down the far or near sideline. That is incomplete inside the 5. Good coverage from Bannis. And that will bring up 4th down and 7 from the Wilmington 36. Nashville has a good drive going, but all of them on penalty yardage.
Now you got 30 yards on penalties.
But you know what?
All it takes.
Yardage is yardage.
That's right. You'll take them anywhere you can get them.
They have 1 receiver who hasn't even gotten back to the line of scrimmage yet. They have everybody set and ready to go. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. 4th and 7. From the Wilmington 36, out of the shotgun formation here, Gajewski with 1 back to his right.
That's what's the call. He's going inaudible.
Clock down to 7 seconds. Now a tight end in motion to the far side. Gajewski jumps back, scrambling off the near side, fires a pass that is caught, and it's going to be a first down or really close to it. Matter of fact, I think it should be a first down, but
well, it might be a yard short, half a yard short. Wait a minute, I forgot to mark that down. Who did what?
I can't even see where they put the ball. They're going to call for the chains. This is going to be a first down. Where they put that ball. I mean, prior they called for the chains, or didn't call for the chains, and it was right on the first down marker. This, based on where it's sitting, if the markers are correct, this is a first down.
It's not.
The markers were not correct on the far side, and that's it. It's Wilmington football. That was fourth down, and the Cats will get it back.
Now
those markers were not true, apparently.
We got all excited about that and didn't say who caught the ball and how many yards.
That was Isaac Turner on a gain of basically 7 yards. He just came up an inch or two short. I don't know. Based on where they put that football and where the markers were in the far side,
I
don't know. My eyes must be deceiving me or something.
I was kind of the opposite. I didn't think he made it. But.
Well, the Cats hold on fourth down by about 2 inches. So Wilmington has it 1st and 10 from their own 29 out of the double wing. Pitch comes right side. This is Friddle out to the 35-yard line on a gain of 6. So Wilmington will have it 2nd down and 4, almost 5 from there.
That's the first time he's gotten 6 yards in a run in a long time. They've been really hammering on him. This is the time to earn your bread and butter. You want to take it down the field now.
2nd down and 4. The ball laying right on the 35-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go in this third quarter, and there has been nothing doing offensively for anyone in this half. I mean, Nashville got 40 yards in that drive, and 30 of them were on penalties. So 2nd down and 4 out of the double wing here. Pitch comes right side again. This is stacked up. There's just nowhere to go. Friddle got a yard or two, and it'll bring up 3rd down and almost 4.
Boy, seems like they're
Third down
almost
along
going to have
3.
to try something different.
Well, there's been almost no counter plays. I think they tried it. They tried a double handoff earlier today that lost about 4 yards, and they tried one counter play that I remember that got no gain. But I haven't seen anything since then. It's been pretty straightforward. Carson Hansen's got a few handoffs at fullback. And they've tried to go to the outside a few times. All right, well, 3rd down and 3. This is a big 3rd down for Wilmington. Out to the 37-yard line. Pitch comes right side. They just run the same play again, and that's not going to get it done. I mean, it's close, but they're not.
Half a yard short.
I mean, they just ran the same play 3 times in a row.
And got nothing.
And it'll be 4th down and less than a yard. And this is where Wilmington might go ahead and go for it. There's 28. Wilmington will have to run a play before the end of the quarter no matter what. It's 4th down and a half a yard. And this is danger territory because Nashville has stopped this once, and they've come close to stopping it another time. 4th and a yard from the Wilmington 39. Ryder Mentz has the first down on the keeper. Gets out across the 40.
Boy, that was.
Didn't get it by much. Got it by maybe a half a yard, but does get it on a gain of 1. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. Wilmington leads it 14-7. My goodness, don't go anywhere. Back with more of the IHSA 2A State Championship in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wilmington Pharmacy proudly accepts all insurance plans and can easily transfer your prescriptions. They also offer delivery and a drive-through window. Wilmington Pharmacy is open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. Stop by at 600 West Baltimore Street in Wilmington or call Wilmington Pharmacy at 815-926-1770. That's 815-926-1770.
Well, the Cats lead it 14-7. We're set to start the fourth quarter. Wilmington will have it at the 40-yard line going right to left here at Brigham Field, the NIU and DeKalb, site of the IHSA Football State Championships. The Cats need to figure out something offensively. It's been a struggle. And just been a struggle for Wilmington, by the way.
You know, you see how Nashville came back on the team last week.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of.
They hang around, and then two quick scores. And
yep,
boom.
And they can throw the ball. They have a very aggressive kicker on onside kicks. I mean, it's very, I can definitely see how that happened.
A 7-point lead doesn't feel secure at all.
No. I mean, St. Teresa had a 14-point lead with like 6 minutes left. and that wasn't safe.
St. Teresa's
No, yeah, they're not a slouch. They have been basically number 1 in 2A all year. Wilmington's been number 1 in 3A all year before dropping down for the playoffs.
Kind of amazing they would drop down.
Well, it's school size. They're actually the third largest school. There's 2 schools above them. Nashville's one of them. So pitch comes right side. This is Friddle. Almost broke that free. Got about 5 yards. You could see the hole developing. If he gets by one more guy, he's gone. But
yeah, that was a good run. Nice job there.
I think Nashville's at 415 enrollment and Wilmington's at 413. So in previous years, these teams would probably be 3A. But they're both in 2A.
I tell you what, they got two very good football teams.
That they do. This has been a battle today. 2nd down and 5, just across the 45-yard line. Pitch comes left side. Big hole. Callan James inside the 45, down to the Nashville 40. And a gain of 15 yards and a Wilmington first down. And the Cats starting to move the football. 11-10 to go in the game with the Cats up 14-7.
You know, we've had James has run the ball 4 times in the second half. 10, 14, 3, and 15 yards, respectively.
So the Cats moving right to left here on what is a mostly overcast day, although there is some blue sky out there. The sun has appeared every now and then, but not enough to warm things up, I'll tell you that.
No. See a guy down there with the short sleeves playing center?
I think there's a lot of people out there with short sleeves. Pitch comes left side. This is, I think that's James, who will pick up 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and long. 10:35 to go in the game. Wilmington trying to hang on for their 2nd state championship, and they have a lot of work left to do. 2nd down and a short 7, almost a long 6. Ball sitting inside the Nashville 37-yard line.
I'll tell you what. This has been a struggle. It's battled all the way.
It's been a fun game to watch, though. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of offense, but it's been a fun game to watch. So 2nd down and a long 6 out of the double wing. Pitch comes back to Friddle, who gets inside the 35, down to almost the 33-yard line. Picks up about 3 more. Wilmington will face 3rd down and about 3.5 from the Nashville 34, and you have to figure that Wilmington's thinking 4-down territory here unless they lose some yardage or something on this play.
Yeah, they really need to keep that ball and keep moving.
And they have not used Carson Hansen lately, and there hasn't been any sort of counter lately. So you can think both of those potentially, or just run it straight ahead like they've been doing.
Now we're closing in. It's 19-15 time-wise.
From the 34, third down and a long 3. This is Friddle, has a first down. Friddle breaks free into the 15. Jacob Friddle to the end zone. Touchdown, Wilmington. A 34-yard touchdown run for Jacob Friddle. And the Cats go up 20-7. He almost was tackled at about the 15, broke that, and rambled into the end zone. So Wilmington up 20-7, 9:05 left to go in the game. Richards on to attempt the extra point. And again, very important extra points.
Oh, boy. Boy, and that's true. Every point here is really important.
Try to put the Cats up 14. Good snap, good hold. The kick by Friddle is good. Or Friddle by Richards is good. I keep thinking Friddle from running touchdown runs. I think my brain is half frozen. All right, the Cats lead it 21-7, 9:05 to go in the game. Back with more of the 2A state championship in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk Allred and Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk Allred and Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred and Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred and Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred and Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today.
So the Cats lead it 21-7 with 9:05 to go in the game. Now remember, Nashville was down 2 scores last week late in the fourth quarter and got 3 scores.
You just cannot let them get that ball, boy.
Kick goes down to the 4. It goes off of the hands and into the end zone, and they're going to call that a touchback, which I guess, according to high school rules, once it goes across the end zone, it's a touchback, and that actually might do Wilmington a favor because more than likely that's going out to the 30 or 35. It went off the hands of Isaac Turner, and now Nashville is really going to have to get some work done. Down 2 scores with 9:05 to go in the game. Out of the shotgun is Gajewski. Hands the ball off far side. This is going to get a gain of maybe a yard or 2 for Connor Gladson. Nope, maybe none. Looks like he got tripped up right about the 20-yard line. Carson Hansen out there, along with Brendan Moran. Clock runs down to 8:45. Nashville's going to have to come up with something quicker than this.
And I know one thing, I'd not be running the ball.
So trips receivers to the near side. Gajewski out of the shotgun, 2nd and 10 from the 20, and Wilmington's going to get called for offsides again. I think it's Brendan Moran for the second time on the far side who just isn't.
Well,
he's lined up in the neutral. It is. It's Moran again the second time. All he's got to do, honestly, the coaches will tell him, just check. All you got to do is check with the ref on the far side. If he says you're good, you're good. So that gives them a 2nd down and 5 instead of 2nd and 10. And again, Wilmington continues to rack up penalties.
Those penalties, they aren't good for you.
2 receivers to one side, 1 receiver in motion, back to a slot back position. Hand off to Gladson. He's going to get 3, maybe 4 yards. We'll set up 3rd down and a yard from the Nashville 29. And again, you have to think that the Hornets need to be moving the football quicker than this, especially with the ground and pound that Wilmington has.
Well, they've gotten
hand off, and that goes nowhere. Gladson is wrapped up for a loss. He'll actually lose a yard. And after a gain of 4, Gladson loses a yard. It'll set up 4th down and 2. And this could very easily decide the game here. And if you're Nashville, you have to go for it. There's not another choice here. And then Wilmington, if they can hold, would get the ball deep in Nashville territory. Boy, this is a huge play. One receiver to either side, out of the shotgun. Gajewski hands the ball off, and that goes nowhere. And Wilmington, on 3 straight runs, holds, and the Cats will get the ball back at the 28 of Nashville.
They could not get that.
Boy, I am shocked at those calls, but 3 straight handoffs to Gladson, and all he did was go backwards.
Yeah, he carried the ball 4 times that possession. He got 4 yards one time, lost a yard, and then none 2 times.
By the way, Gladson on the year has 1,600 yards rushing and 21 touchdowns.
Wow.
And today, I don't know if he's gotten to double digits. So, timeout here. 7:34 to go in the game. Wilmington's up 21-7. Don't go anywhere. Back with more of the 2A state championship in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wilmington Pizzeria is located at 205 East Baltimore Street in Wilmington. They have pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and a full selection of family meal deals. They offer pickup and delivery too. Wilmington Pizzeria is open Monday through Thursday, 10:30 to 9, and Friday and Saturday from 10:30 to 10. Call Wilmington Pizzeria at 815-476-7011. That's 815-476-7011. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com.
So Wilmington leads it 21-7 with 7:34 to go in the game. The Cats have the ball at the 28 of Nashville, 1st and 10 after holding on 4th down. And Friddle down to the 25. Looked like he had a huge hole again.
I thought maybe it might go, yeah.
But got chopped down at the last second.
Yeah,
and the Cats
yards.
will face 2nd and 7 from the 25-yard line of Nashville. The Hornets have been pretty stingy today, but the last drive or two from Wilmington started turning up some yards. If the Cats wouldn't have gotten a holding penalty in the first drive of the second half, I think that was setting up to be a touchdown too.
Penalties haven't helped the Wildcats, but mostly they've been able to work through them in spite of it.
Well, both of these teams have had a ton of penalties.
Yeah.
I mean, big penalties. 2nd down and 7 from the 25. Pitch comes back to Friddle. Big hole. Friddle inside the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Wow.
A gain of 10. And Wilmington will have a 1st down from the Nashville 15. And all of a sudden, if you're the Hornets, you start worrying a little bit here.
And that was the last guy that could have had a chance to get him. There was one other guy back there, but I don't think he could have gotten to Friddle to get him down before he hit the end zone. It'd been close.
So the Cats will have it 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line, down to 6:25 to go in the game. Just that long separating from Wilmington and another state championship. Out of the double wing here. Ryder Mentz under center, pitches it back to Friddle. Inside the 15, down to the 12. Set up 2nd and 7 before he's finally chopped down by Evan Nolhoff.
Boy, Friddle has been a busy guy the second half.
Yeah. The ball laying at the 12 of Nashville.
A couple 5-yard gains, a 10-yard gain, and a 34-yard gain for a touchdown.
So 2nd down and 7. Mentz pitches it back to Friddle, and we have
I knew that.
a false start
Yes.
on Wilmington. Nashville did a little stunt defensively, and Wilmington jumped. And it goes from 2nd and 7 to 2nd and 12 with 5:25 to go in the game.
You don't want to lose this chance to score.
Well, and also for Wilmington, you don't want to get back out of field goal range either.
No.
Because you don't necessarily need a touchdown here. If you can get a field goal, that still makes it a 3-possession game.
Yeah, this is very, very important.
We have a timeout here. Let's see what this is all about. We're going to reset the play clock, I guess, to 25 seconds. Wilmington will be fine with that.
If I was Wilmington, I wouldn't hike that ball either. I got down to 2 seconds.
Nashville beginning to run out of time. Under 5 minutes to go. Again, everything packed in here. Ryder Mentz up under center, out of the double wing. Pitch comes back to Friddle. Inside the 15 and back to where they were before. Now near the 12. And he'll bring up 3rd down and 7. The clock's going to run down to 4:40. And pretty soon, Nashville's going to have to think about using timeouts because they're not going to have any time left to make a run at this.
Oh, what do you give them, about 6 yards that time?
A gain of about 5, about right back to where they were before, just inside the 13-yard line. Wilmington will not have to snap this ball until about 4 minutes left to go in the game. If they don't get a first down, I'd be shocked if Nashville didn't use a timeout.
Hike the ball.
So Mentz up under center. Pitch comes left side and a timeout to Nashville. And that is not at all what the Hornets wanted to do. That's 3 very precious timeouts, and that's right at the end of just running a whole bunch of clock.
Oh, yeah.
So the Hornets have to burn a timeout because they couldn't get the right people on the field. 4:02 to go in the game. We'll take a break. Back with more Cats playoff football in a moment.
If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
(21-7) is the lead for Wilmington. 3rd down and a long 7. Ball just inside the 13-yard line as the Cats, more than anything else here, make sure the ball is in the middle of the field so that Richards has a good shot at getting a field goal. That would be big points here late. Pitch comes left side. There's another flag down and another false start called on the far side.
Oh, this is bad. This is really, really bad. It is. Another false start.
I mean, all Nashville's doing up front is moving down the defensive line. I mean, it's not even anything fancy. They're just shifting over. And the Cats twice on this drive have been called for a false start. Now it's back to 3rd and 13. Or a long 12, depending on how you want to look at it. Now you're back to needing 5 or 6 yards to really make it a more manageable field goal.
Yeah, you're getting out now where that's 10 yards deeper than you should be.
So out of the double wing, 3rd down and close to 13. Underneath on the counter, this is James down to the 15 before he's stacked up. And it'll be 4th down and 10, so a gain of almost 3. This would be a 32-yard field goal if Wilmington elects to try it. They're going to let the time run all the way down here, and why not? They could take it down to about 3 minutes on the clock before they need to use a timeout, and then things will be on the foot of Richards. And if Allen can convert here, that would make it a 3-score game with 3 minutes left, which makes it I would say virtually impossible, but the way things have been going lately for Nashville, who knows?
Well, and Byron, too. Byron came out with 2 weird plays right
Yep.
there. Again, pulled one out right at the end. So, yeah, you can't feel safe in this one. When you got an offense like Nashville does, if they can move down the field quick, you can't feel safe with even 3 minutes and 5 seconds left.
So the Cats use a timeout here. 4th and 10 from the Nashville 15-yard line. Again, this would be roughly a 32-yard field goal if Wilmington elects to do this with 3:05 left. Now, it's not like, I mean, if Richards misses this, it's not, the end of the world. I mean, you're still up 2 scores, but it would drastically help Wilmington because it would make it fairly comfortable at that point. The difference between giving up 2 scores and giving up 3 scores in the final 3 minutes is huge. No matter what, if Nashville gets the ball back here, they've got to move the ball way quicker than they have been moving it. Running the football 3 or 4 times in the last possession, I really didn't understand
I didn't
that.
understand that at all. A 3-point conversion of a field goal here would make it, they would have to have 3 scores, even getting 2-point extra points. They still have to have three scores.
All right, so Richards is on to attempt this 32-yard field goal. Has been a very good field goal kicker this year, although there is some wind today, and this is not a chip shot by any stretch of the imagination. Good snap, good hold. The kick by Richards is good.
All right.
And a 32-yard field goal for Alan Richards makes it 24-7 Wilmington, and it's now a 3-score lead for the Cats with 3:05 to go in the game. Whew. That didn't look like it had a whole lot of distance on it, but it had enough to get through the uprights.
Some of the field goals he's kicked today, he's gotten a lot of height on the ball, and with this wind, not helping him there. But
all right, be sure to stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair over there in Braidwood. We'll get to your final stats here this afternoon and wrap things up for the 2021 season. Of course, Coach Raints and the players will be down on the field for the award ceremony, and then they'll have their own press conference in another facility. So we will not be able to talk to Coach Raints today in the postgame, but we do have a couple of things planned here at the end of the year, and we'll let you know what we're thinking there when we get to the end of this broadcast. But let's finish things here first.
Oh boy.
Got a ways to go.
3 minutes and 5 seconds worth, and that's a long 3 minutes and 5 seconds.
3:05 to go. Wilmington seeking their second state championship as Alan Richards going to approach here, kicking off right to left. And this kick will go down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Again, taken by Turner. Out across the 20 and dropped at the 23-yard line on the tackle by Colin James. And Nashville has a long way to go with just 2:59 and needing 3 scores.
Oh, boy. Watch that. You're talking about blazing the skies now. He's going to light up the...
Well, they're definitely going to air it out. You don't have an option now. So trips receivers to the far side. Gajewski out of the shotgun, drops back, the lefty, pump fakes, now rolls again, trying to keep the ball, fires it short, and that's only a gain of a yard. Nope, it's incomplete, goes through the hands of Ben Reed. Bring up 2nd down and 10.
Good enough pressure to make him break out of the pocket and run to the left. He couldn't get his feet planted for anything long. And he used...
So down to 2:51 to go.
He used 8 seconds off of the...
Now trips receivers to the far side, one to the near out of the shotgun again is Gajewski with one back to his left. Looking over at the sideline for the play here. Now we'll relay it to the near side. The ball on the far hash. 2nd and 10. Pass down the near sideline. That is caught, I believe, out at midfield. Be a flag for pass interference anyway. Cougar Forsyth and Patterson out there in coverage. That'll be a gain of 26 yards. And a first down. They're going to decline the penalty here.
Wilmington receiver, or defender, grabbed his arm. Was that Ben Reed that got that?
Yes. And the passes have been so underthrown today by Gajewski that Wilmington keeps getting called for pass interference because the receiver has to come back with the ball. So 1st and 10 from midfield. Trips receivers to the near side. Gajewski fires far sideline again. That sails over the head of his intended receiver. There's a flag down back at the 47. And could this finally be a hold for the first time? Well, maybe the second time today. Maybe.
They've not been very forthcoming on the Nashville holds, that's for sure.
Personal foul. Face mask on the offense, so they get an offensive lineman for grabbing the face mask, and that's going to make things very difficult on Nashville. I mean, both teams have had some major penalties today.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think they've had 8 penalties from Nashville.
Wilmington has to have close to that many.
Wilmington's had 6.
Well, Wilmington's had 6 big penalties.
Oh, boy. They've had some terrible places. Yeah.
So 1st down and, 25 or so, back at the 35-yard line, going left to right. Gajewski is sacked back at the 27-yard line. Absolutely rocked by Sanford.
Wow.
And this is going to mean 3rd and a country mile for Nashville.
He went right over the top of the lineman.
That's a loss of 8 yards. It's 3rd down and or 2nd down and 33, the scoreboard says. I don't know. It's a lot, whatever it is. Gajewski drops back, pressured again. Screen pass, and that's dropped. Nope, he gets away from Richards, but out to the 34. Good stop by Richards. But they spun away after a gain of 6. Good run there by Gladson. Finally tackled on the near side after a gain of 6, but still 3rd and a very long ways to go. 3rd and 25.
That keeps the clock running, too.
Down to 1:38 to go, and the hopes for Nashville are slipping away, and a state championship is getting ever closer for Wilmington.
Wow, what are they doing?
I don't know. They're taking forever to get people on the field. It's down to 1:25 to go. They're still motioning people around. They're not set yet. Down to 1:20 to go. No, they send it back in motion. Gajewski drops back, fires over the middle. That pass caught out near midfield by Isaac Turner. That's a gain of 14 yards, but it's still 4th and 11 from the Nashville 49 as we approach 1 minute to go in the game. So 4th down and 11. Trips receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Clock rolls, 55 seconds to go. Back is in motion. Gajewski drops back, looks down the middle of the field, still looking, rolls to his left, fires, caught down to the Wilmington 33. That's a gain of 17 yards on the reception by Raiden Schwarzkopf. But down to 44 seconds left to go. Oh, by the way, I never changed my scoreboard over here. I got so busy doing other things.
How many yards did he get that time?
17 to Schwarzkopf. Oh. Pass to the far side. That is incomplete. The receiver didn't even look back for the football. That was Turner way over there. Bring up 2nd down and 10. Nashville down 3 scores with 34 seconds left. And really at this point, it's just what's the final score going to be? Wilmington up 24-7. Trips receivers to the near side. Snap off the far hash. Gajewski drops back the pass. Looks down the middle of the field. Fires. That is incomplete.
Almost
intercepted. Looked like it went through the hands of Friddle. And also back there was Ben Reed. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10 from the Wilmington 33. So Wilmington just a couple of defensive stops away now as they have everybody back deep. A couple of safeties back around the 10-yard line. Trips receivers to the near side. Gajewski out of the shotgun here. 3rd down and 10 from the Wilmington 33. Pass is deflected in the middle of the field by Richards. And now 4th and 10, and it comes down to this for Nashville.
27 seconds left on the clock. You realize who Wilmington's playing against. This is a team with 5,425 offensive yards.
Averaging 40-plus points a game, and they have 7.
That's a tough
A lot of that is
play.
Wilmington's just hung on to the football for all kinds of minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
So trips receivers to the far side out of the shotgun formation. Gajewski fires on 4th and 10. Incomplete! And Wilmington turns them over on downs, and all the Cats have to do is run out the clock, and Wilmington has another state championship. So Wilmington will get set to run a couple of plays. 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. 24 seconds left. And the Cats are going to win a state championship. Matter of fact, I think Wilmington's going to use a timeout here. Over here on the sidelines. And I think one of these things is Raints brings everybody in, says, hey, we've worked to get here, guys. Enjoy what's about ready to happen next. Gives this team a chance to think about it and really go and say, hey, listen, we want to make sure we finish this out, but also be sure to enjoy this. So 24 seconds left. The Cats have 1 timeout remaining, but none of that is going to matter. Wilmington has a 24-7 lead. And they're about ready to bring home some more hardware. Raints is over on the sideline celebrating with fans. And the Cats are going to do it again. Matter of fact, Raints and South Hall hugging out at the 40-yard line. And the Cats about ready to take a final couple snaps of the season. They'll go in victory formation here and on to take the snaps. I believe, is that Caden Humphreys? It is. Caden Humphreys, the starting quarterback for the Wilmington Wildcats back in week 2, is on the field to take the final snaps and take it in. That is amazing that Caden gets to do that and then gets helped off the field as he limps off the field. Wow, what a moment for Caden and this Wilmington Wildcats football team. There it goes, the final score, Wilmington 24-7. The Cats are the 2021 IHSA Class 2A state football champions with this win over Nashville. Wow, what a moment for the Cats. Now their second state championship. As Wilmington's celebrating out there at midfield, of course, the Cats and the Hornets will have to shake hands, and then Wilmington's going to be presented the trophy for the state championship here in 2A. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center in Braidwood, where they care beyond the repair. Wilmington is state champs, 24-7. Back with the postgame show in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wilmington Pharmacy proudly accepts all insurance plans and can easily transfer your prescriptions. They also offer delivery and a drive-through window. Wilmington Pharmacy is open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. Stop by at 600 West Baltimore Street in Wilmington or call Wilmington Pharmacy at 815-926-1770. That's 815-926-1770.
The Wilmington Wildcats celebrating their state football championship here in Class 2A as the Cats win it 24-7 over Nashville. Wilmington bringing home their second football state championship as the captains out there along with the entire Wilmington football team as everybody taking pictures and getting ready to celebrate with a championship trophy here in just a few minutes. Welcome into the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center over there in Braidwood, where they care beyond the repair. Big thank you to Warren's for sponsoring the postgame show all year here on the network. All right, a final check of your stats here tonight. First off, for the Nashville Hornets rushing the football, Colton Gajewski, 4 carries for -6 yards. Connor Gladson finished with 10 carries for 3 yards. You're talking about a guy with 1,600 yards rushing this year, finishes with 3 yards here in the state championship. Wilmington held Nashville to 14 rushing attempts for -3 yards on the day. That's amazing for a team that has been as potent offensively as they have been.
5,400 yards of offense, 3,000 some yards rushing alone, and that's what they got today.
Through the air, Gajewski was 7 of 21 for 95 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Isaac Turner had 3 receptions for 51 yards, including a 30-yard touchdown reception. Ben Reed had 1 reception for 26 yards. Connor Gladson, 1 reception for 6 yards. And Ryden Schwartzkopf with 1 reception for 17 yards. Again, Colton Gajewski, 7 of 21 for 95 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. On the day, Nashville, you add it all up, 92 yards of total offense for a team that had 6,000, well, roughly 5,900 yards of offense this year.
Wow.
That's
just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
that's a very good defensive performance, despite the fact that Wilmington had their share of penalties and pass interference and some other things. But really a pretty impressive defensive performance. Really for Wilmington, though, the bigger bonus was hanging on to the football offensively,
Yes.
and their defense didn't have to do as much work. I mean, they just
You went to the first
burned
half.
clock.
Up to the first half, Nashville hardly had the ball. They got the one for that long pass play. They got a touchdown, and that was about the sum total of it.
So 92 yards of offense for Nashville. For Wilmington, this is rushing. Of course, the Cats didn't even attempt to pass today. Again, not really much reason for
They
it.
rolled him out one time.
They did. Ryder Mentz, 3 carries for -3 yards and a touchdown. He had a 1-yard touchdown on a keeper. Jacob Friddle, 24 rushing attempts, 156 yards, and a couple of touchdowns here today. Colin James finishes with 18 rushes for 84 yards. Carson Hansen, 2 carries for 8 yards. Wilmington finishes with 51 rushing attempts, 248 yards in the ground, and 3 touchdowns. Of course, Richards made his 32-yard field goal as well, also missed a 45-yard field goal, I believe it was, earlier in the half. Wilmington with 248 yards of offense. They outgain Nashville 248 to 92. They're giving the 2A runner-up trophy at the moment to Nashville on the far sideline. Very deserving of that for the Hornets. Boy, what a playoff run they had.
Wow.
Getting a couple of late scores last week to knock off St. Teresa.
I mean, nobody, I don't think, gave them a chance to beat St. Teresa.
I mean, yeah, if you talk to most people, they would say that wouldn't happen, but they managed to make it happen. So for the Cats here, they are about ready to receive the state championship trophy right down here in front of us. Friddle, along with Richards, Hansen. Can't see who the other one is on the far sideline. They're about ready to accept this trophy. I think it's Dingelo out there too. And they're giving the state championship medals first off to Brian Goff, the athletic director of Wilmington, and then to Coach Reintz as well. And now the aforementioned players that we were talking about. Boy, what a moment for the Wilmington Wildcats, winning another state championship as they get their medals. And pretty soon will be presented a trophy. By the way, from what I hear, Wilmington's going to have a trophy presentation party at home tonight at Becker Field at Reintz Stadium. And there it is. The Wilmington Wildcats get presented the state championship trophy in Class 2A as the entire team out there. And the Wilmington Wildcats win their second state championship. Been here 3 times, were runners up once, and now have won it 2 times under this coaching staff led by Coach Jeff Reintz. As the Cats will celebrate there. Again, they'll have a ton of fun today. They're going to go back to their home stadium tonight and celebrate there as well in front of their own fans and have their own trophy presentation there. And also, just keep this in mind, we're planning something on the network here too. Whether that's at Terry's Shed or wherever that is, we're going to have some sort of post-game party as well. So make sure to keep checking back to the website for that. My guess is it'll probably be next Saturday if we can work things out. But we will get all of those details done over the weekend, and then we'll have some sort of party for this state championship and talk to some players and coaches and stuff at some point next week. But we have to kind of put all of that stuff into play quite yet, but we will be working on it. It's the Wilmington Wildcats celebrating out there in midfield and just ahead of what will be the 3A state championship coming up next. Wow, what a season this has been.
I tell you what, we will never forget this, will we?
The Wildcats ran it wire to wire here in 2021, and the Cats win a state championship. Big thank you to Warren's Collision Center for sponsoring the postgame show again this week, as they have done every other week throughout the year. Again, we won't be able to talk with Coach Reintz today because they're down on the field, of course, celebrating. Then they got to go into a different building for a postgame press conference. There's a lot of stuff going on for him today, so we will not talk to him today. But again, we will talk to him and some of these players too, if we can manage to get all that put together. Sometime later this week, we'll have a post-game show featuring everybody. We'll kind of let you know here on the network when that is going to be. Big thank you to all of our sponsors this year. Cannot have done it without you. Everybody that kind of stepped up and sponsored everything this year. Also, big thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Like, we did really good numbers today as well. We know you have all kinds of options to get these football games, and we do appreciate that you tune in with us every single week. We appreciate it, and we hope you guys have fun throughout the year. We do. Wouldn't be the same if we didn't have fun. So we've enjoyed our ride so far, and of course that will continue on. But the Cats get a win today, and we'll celebrate a state championship. Thank you to everybody all along the way here at the network. Also, all of you at home, all of our sponsors too. Wilmington wins it 24-7 and will take home another state championship. That'll wrap things up today.
Well, been a wonderful ride.
Yep.
Now, look forward to next year.
That's very true. Done with 1 year and on to the next. Make sure to keep checking back for info on our post-game, our post as we go ahead. Wilmington